Morning, welcome to a video with a walk with Coffee Neil. Today I'm in Doncaster. At the moment I'm at the lakeside. I'm going to grab some breakfast and then walk into the town centre. I mean, it's beautiful around here, but let's have a walk around and see what other positives we can find. And another thing, I've got a challenge today. I've got to try and do 56,000 steps to hit 500,000 steps for me. Wish me luck. I don't think I'm going to do it. So I am having a walk into town now. But this, where I'm walking at the moment, is the designer outlet. Quite a few decent shops around here, but let's walk to town and see what we can find here. Might pop here in a bit. So it's quite early, it's about 8:30. So, like I said, this is the Lakeside Village designer outlet. Everything's closed at the moment, other than like Costa and Greg's, but it will open very soon. So, first thing was first, I have to go and get some breakfast. Normally I'd get a coffee, but I went to McDonald's and I want to save the coffee for the independent store, don't I? Because I love these independent coffee shops. Now I'm walking into the town centre of Doncaster, but just so you know, Doncaster is now a city. It got that status in 2022. So the road's like this for quite a while. I know that because I've drove down here loads of times. So the filming will be few and far between before I reach the city centre, but I'm looking forward to it. So today I'm trying to do 56,000 steps in one day to reach 500,000 for the month. I don't think I'm going to do it, and for some reason I've picked to come to Doncaster, which is probably not the greatest place to come either, but let's give it a go. I'm going to try my best, like. So I don't know if people are living in there, because that's all the cladding and stuff, isn't it? So I presume not, because that's what happened to Grenfell Tower. It should be a great shame if that happened again. So I've just reached the city centre, so we're going to have a walk round and have a look what's what. Obviously I've been here loads of times, I used to put quite a lot of gigs on here, I used to have quite a few nights out around here, but I haven't been for quite a few years, you know. So I'm interested to see what's what. So at the corner of my eye I've just spotted this place, the Grumpy Goat Coffee House. So I really need a coffee first thing in the morning, not had one yet. So let's grab one and then go for a walk after and get these 56,000 steps done. I'm on about 8,000 at the minute now. It's very nice in here, by the way. That's my coffee, £3.65. Quite a large coffee that too. So, this coffee. Right, I've been sat in the store charging my phone for quite a while. The people in there were very lovely, very friendly, and it's quite new. And I've got to say, I'm going to give this coffee, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I'm going to give the staff a 10 out of 10. And the place itself is very neat and tidy. So overall, 9.5 out of 10. And I'm definitely going to come back and revisit this place because I really like it. So down here looks quite tidy. It's just a little bit out of the city centre. This is called the Danham Museum, which is a gallery and library as well. So that's pretty cool. Don't like the building, but it does make it look a lot cleaner. So there's like this cool square thing here. So here is cast. Apparently this is some form of theatre. Puts quite a lot of stuff on. Might have a look at window and just see what's on here. I never actually knew it were here, so you do learn something new every day. There you have the savoury. I don't know what it is. No idea what it is. There you've got a little dessert shop on the suburb, and then I can just see the Madry. I don't know what it's called, but there's a bar on there, so all very funky around here. Down here you've got the Crown Court and the Coroner's Court, and right there you've got the Donny Police Station. Don't really know why you want to see any of this, but I just walked down. Could all do with a lick of paint. Nice little features on there as well. So now I'm walking into the town centre, city centre, whatever you want to call it. This looks very, very, very old-fashioned, doesn't it? It's like getting thrown back into early 90s, this. Look at the state of this. Madness. Then over there you've got a functioning pub. That's probably the most interesting thing you'll find in this park. So, I'm walking on a place called Silver Street now, which is known for its nightlife, but it's also known for being a little bit rough. But I've just been told in the coffee shop that Doncaster's come up as a deprived city. So they do a deal where people pay £20 and they can go around 6 pubs all Saturday afternoon and drink as much as they like. And in one of the places they get free pizza too. Crazy. So there you've got Mambo, you've got Bowler's Sports Bar, and After Hours nightclub. I don't know if any of these are all still open or not. Look at the state of the building above. Ugh. So to be fair, you've got a lot of bars. So there you've got Frank and Stein. Looks a bit rough upstairs though. Here as well, you've got Coco. And as I'm walking further down, you've got another one there called Storm. So it does look like it'd be quite thriving on a Saturday night around here. Used to be many years ago, I don't know what it's like. Then you've got the courtyard at Old George, I'm guessing that's still open. And there you've got Rees, but that looks like it may be closed, you know. Don't look very lively, that one. I think it's quite safe to say the Casbah is all closed down. Look, it's even got the sign who's boarded it up. That's rough. It's quite a good building if you touched it up with a bit of paint as well. I mean, there's more than places like Luton, Blackburn and Rotherham, but Doncaster's got a lot of places just boarded up like this, which is such a shame too. Just a question, but look how dirty that sign is. Would you really want to eat in there if the sign's that dirty? I know I wouldn't. That sign puts me off alone. I'm not sure if it's actually closed down or not, but I wouldn't eat in there if it were open with how dirty that sign is. Although that looks a bit better at the side. I think it is still open, you know, but still, that sign is so dirty. So there's Vintage Rock Bar. So this is where I used to put quite a lot of gigs on back in about 2008 till about 2012, 2014-ish. It wasn't here though, it wasn't this one. I think I've only been in here once. It used to be up on a street called Market Street, I believe. We'll have a walk round and we'll have a look what's happened to that old building. But it does look very nice anyway. And I think some of the staff are still the same years later. So that's a good thing. And I'm glad it's still open. So over there you've got the Maverick 80s bar. Lots of pubs in Donny, as you can see. Not many people these days appreciate like the good buildings like this, but that is really cool. It's just really run down though. Look at the windows. Such a shame. That clock tower. Really. So right there you've got the Doncaster Corn Exchange. Obviously it's making the city centre look a bit more thriving. The building's great as well. It does look a bit like a town hall though, doesn't it? And then there's a few pubs behind me. I'm guessing that's based on Temple Bar in Dublin, which I've been in many, many years ago. But that looks pretty cool, and I'm sure that gets plenty of people in there as well. Got a quite good vibe, that. So here we have a place called the Wool Market. So should have a quick look round here and see what's what. It's quite interesting here. You've got a few arcade games. You do have the toilets as well. Got shuffleboard over there, which I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. And you've got street food from all over the world, which I might give some of this a blast later. If you want a beer as well, or a glass of wine, a bar in here. It says there's a coffee shop in here, but I haven't seen it yet. This must be thriving in a bit though, like little bowling thing, the random barbers, and some more games. Quite cool this, like it. We've even got a little dartboard thing. I've never seen one of these in action, so it'd be cool to watch it. So I've just been in the Wool Market behind me, which is really cool to be fair. It's quite quiet because obviously it's still morning, but I'm guessing it does get quite busy in there. And it's got food from all over the world, it's got games in there. You know, Doncaster's quite an inconsistent city. One side everything's boarded up, on the other there's quite a lot to do here. A lot of pubs if you want a night out, by the way. So there you've got the Black Bull. I'm not sure if this is the one what's all over Facebook, what gets like millions of views or stuff, or if that's further out than this one. But I'm sure that's called the Black Bull. But look, Doncaster's quite busy today on this Saturday afternoon, quite early on, which is always good to see a town, like city centre visit. So these markets really add something to it. So there you've got the fish market as well. And like I said, it's quite thriving around here. But it's one of them things, isn't it? It does look a bit scruffy too. So the one thing you're never short of in Doncaster is pubs, because there's loads of them. That's the Woolpack. I think that's quite a popular establishment as well, if I remember correctly. I think I've been in there a very long time ago. So there you've got the Red Lion. It does say Wetherspoons there, so I think the Red Lion may be a Wetherspoons, or the Wetherspoons behind, I'm not entirely sure. We'll have a look round anyway. And what we'll do now is we'll go through that gap and see where we find out. Like I said, you're never short of a pub round here. That's the Old George. I'm presuming that's still open. And yeah, not a lot to write home about down that little part because most of it's shut. And then I've come back here onto Silver Street. So we'll walk up here and we'll take a walk round again. There you've got the Ridiculo Hotel. I know they like to get into these old buildings and that, but that's probably the most run-down Mercure hotel you'll ever find. Let's have a walk up here, which is Allgate. So that's better than when it all... So you see that, that's all boarded up, but that looks a lot better. Even though it's not open, the colours just make it a lot better, a lot more visible. So you've got flares here. I thought they were all shut down and took over by Pop World, but obviously not. And then Yates over there. No matter where they put these Yateses, no matter how run down they are and that, they always survive, don't they? So they're doing something right, even though they're not the greatest places to go. And right there, you've got the Slug and Lettuce, which is a bit more of a classier establishment, which feels like it's really out of place there. But who knows? I don't know Doncaster that well, particularly anymore. Again, this place is thriving with pubs. That's the Lockwood. That looks like a nice building, so it's probably nice inside. And over there you've got the Yorkshire Grey as well, a nice traditional English pub. And a bit further up you've got another pub, so we'll check that out. Maybe it's a bit more upmarket up here. Cactus Jack's Steakhouse, that looks fairly cool. And then there's Lazarus Court down there. I wonder if that's where that social bar is. So I have been up here before. Like I said, Doncaster's such an inconsistent place. Like, I've just walked up to the top of here, and this is what I'm seeing, like all boarded up. I feel like I just walked through a bit of a posher area. There you've got the Old Cross, which did used to put quite a lot of gigs on as well, I believe, in the past. Not sure if they still do it or not. But I can hear the Smiths blasting out, and it's also Doncaster Camera Pub of the Year, whatever that means. And a poppy on there as well. Do you know when something's that dirty? You'd be better off just removing it, wouldn't you? Look how dirty it is. So I've just come across this. I'm lost. That's convenient because normally I am. In this situation, I'm actually not. In music, feels so alive. And then you've got all these legends. What we could call it there. This is a cool little tunnel, really. So O'Donegan's there. Let's have a walk down Lazarus Court. Let's see what's down here. I'm pretty sure the social bar is down here, but we'll see. I'm guessing this opens mainly up at night because look at this. This looks quite nice and tidy. The Rockahula Tika Bar. Probably quite good fun in there. So we've got this place, Mana, which does karaoke on a Friday. I will not be taking part in that. Or the Country Bar. I'd quite like to have a look into this because there's quite a few decent country acts around Doncaster. And I think this would be quite cool. And then you've got Mint, and there you do have Social Bar, and you have Vibe too. So basically Doncaster's just full of pubs and bars and takeaways. So this says it's called the Powerhouse Christchurch. Wouldn't be a walk without Coffin Hill without walking around some form of graveyard, would it? But look at this. This looks a really, really cool church. I really like the look of this. Really cool, man. Really, really cool. And when you see gravestones like that, where it's overgrown and that, you know they've been there for quite some time. Look at that. That's insane. But also, it's got like all the graves on the path. I'll show you in a minute. So it feels weird because it feels like you're walking over dead bodies. So I've just spotted this. Sir Loman Beckett baronet, died 24th of May 1874. That's some history for you. So I've just noticed the red line is Wetherspoons, because look, there's the giveaway, which you can't believe I didn't see. So look, the town is thriving, the city rather. As I said, there's a busker. I've walked past him about 8 times, I've never seen him play or sing anything. And there's Primark, obviously very busy. So this bar now, what's called the Library, this used to be Vintage Rock Bar. This is where you used to put the gigs on, not at the new building. But it's good to see it's still up and running, even though the building above is very ugly, which I've never noticed before. So to be fair to Doncaster City Centre, you know, there's a lot of people around. There's market stalls on, there's a lot of things happening, but it is very inconsistent. Like I said, it's a strange place to cut, because some of it's quite nice and some of it's very run down, and it's all sort of like mixed together as well. You don't see much of this, do you, with the Great Britain flags knocking around. But there, you've got somebody having a good time as well. Don't know if you can hear him or not, I don't know if the phone's picking that up. So there you've got Frenchgate. I'm going to have a quick look in here. Might not be allowed to film in there though, because you're not allowed to in a lot of shopping centres. But it does have a Next and a TK Maxx. And I'll tell you what's in here. Long time since I've been in here. Well, I came last year, but it was all closed because I came about 6 o'clock. So I parked up, got charged about £4 for about 20 minutes, and no shops were open. What a result. Just found this place, Coffee Spoons. Excellent coffee, amazing value. Guess what? Closed. Who needs North Face, eh? When you've got Northwest. And you can get things as little as $2.99. Couldn't really come to Donny and miss this out, could I? This is a beautiful church building. There's something going off here. I think it's a wedding or something, so I'm not going to hang around, but that's a beautiful building. So by Frenchgate you have Donny train station, and there's a cool pub around the side called the Leopard, which I'm going to show you, which has hosted some great bands. So this is a Leopard. It's just a stone throw away from train station. This pub is very famous though for hosting a load of great bands on the way up. Arctic Monkeys were one of the bands what played here. And I've just seen Fickle Friends are playing here in like 2 weeks' time, which is a huge pull because the venue is only about 200 cap. And I've seen Fickle Friends play in front of about 2,000 people before, so that's a huge pull. And over there you've got St James's Church, which is just a cool building as well. I've got to walk left here, otherwise I'm going to get lost. So I'm not going to get too close. Just walking down the subway now. Not really like walking down here. And look at how messy it is as well. But it was my only way across the road, so I had no choice. So, as I'm walking down to the football stadium, because it's Doncaster vs Man U Legends, so that's where I'm heading to now. I've always known it as the Keep Moat, but it's called the Echo Arena Stadium, I think now. But my thoughts on Donny Town Centre, Doncaster Town Centre, for those who don't know it as Donny, it's very interesting. You'll never run out of places to drink alcohol, you'll never run out of vapes, you'll never run out of food. Few coffee shops knocking about. Quite a lot of stores are still open, even though there's a lot of boarded up stuff. It's just very inconsistent. Like I said, you have a beautiful building next to a really boarded up building. It's just sort of a city I cannot work out. I quite like it though, it's got a little bit of charm to it. So I've just been to Legends game, finished 5-5, Man U Doncaster. My phone sort of went flat, so I couldn't film much, so I've come to Costa, charged my phone a bit. I'm going to walk around the lake. I've still got 35,000 steps to do, so I'm struggling to do this, you know. So back onto Lakeside. I've been to the outlet, had a coffee, come back on here, going to have a walk round. So I've got roughly about 5,500 steps every hour to do before midnight, which is going to be a big ask, considering I do what, about 1,000 to 1,200 like on a normal day when I'm not working. Big ask this. So we'll head over there shortly. Beautiful views though, beautiful place. When the sun shines it looks even nicer. Honestly, when I stand here I start shaking because I feel like I'm going to drop my phone in the water at any point. Look how dirty the water is as well. Wouldn't want to be fishing that back out. This one's a bit lonely, look, the only one in the water. Very scenic down here, very nice. Like I said before, when the sun shines on the water, it looks absolutely amazing. The sun's in and out a little bit today, so sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, but what a beautiful place this is to come. Not the worst view of that, is it? So this looks pretty cool as well as you're walking through. Obviously we're filming here as nobody's walking through. Pretty cool this though. I feel like I have to come down and film this just while the spring's in action. Really cool, isn't it? And let's crack on. I'm nearly halfway now. As I'm walking back round, as you can see with the swans, apparently these are called Canadian geese, what with them, amongst the swans. So that lovely swan, it's no more. Being right outside Doncaster football ground is this statue. Looks a bit wrong, doesn't it really, to be right outside a football. Like I said earlier, been here today. It were Doncaster Rovers legends versus Man U legends. The most notable players for Man United were Darren Gibson, John O'Shea, Fraser Campbell, Ryan Giggs, although I never actually noticed Ryan Giggs on the pitch whatsoever. Danny Simpson, Chris Eagles, Danny Pugh, and Dion Dublin were the manager. Finished 5-5.